stories on the roads were so many. There was a particular part of that was a bit worrying. When you travel by public transport, you immanquably meet some roadblocks, usually tree trunks placed in the middle of the road with nails with the sharp point on top. And so the taxi would stop, obviously. And these were manned sometimes by police, but also by the army. And then we just watch the soldier or policeman would approach the driver and ask for his papers, and he would take out the papers and show them. And there was one incident where the army man took the papers upside down and he was trying to look at them, and the driver told him, "Can't you see that it's upside down?" The fact was that he was illiterate, unfortunately. But usually what they would also ask after that was, "Okay, show me your boots. And so the driver would get up, come out of the vehicle and go to the boot, and what happens next, obviously you don't see, but we all know. So the boot will go up, so it provides a shield. People will not see what's going on, and at that time he will dash some money to the policeman, and then the other one will say thank you, and then you just go back and to your seat, and the driver will continue driving. And one time it happened, and one of the passengers, that was an older man, said, "Well, if this continues, the country will not get better. This is not right." And the driver was a wise man. He said, "Well, that's your choice, really. If I refuse, you will all go with me to the police post, and then we may wait for half a day or more, and none of you will reach his or her destination. So obviously I don't have a choice." And there was silence, because everybody knew that there was no choice, just like he said. It was, we were all captives to a system. The road could also be a cruel, place. One time we were traveling, and that time we were traveling as a family with our own car. And we were on the old road, and there were ups and downs, like I told you in another video. And we were following a big lorry from the north. And usually these lorries had they were not meant to carry people, but actually they were carrying people, and all the people were standing. So they all stood together at the back of the lorry, and it was an open lorry. So the only person in the cabin was the driver, and all the people were in the lorry. And the lorry needed to go down part of the road, that was on a slope, and then he needed to turn left. And the turn was sharp. And thankfully we were a bit away from the lorry, because my husband was a very, very careful driver. So he was not in a hurry, he was just taking his time. And the lorry turned sharply, and it was like seeing things in a slow motion. You could see all the people ejected as if they were flying out of the lorry. See, zoom, 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 zoom. And they were falling, by the wayside. It was frightening to think that this was real, and that what you saw was people. It was not, butterflies, or in spite of the look of it. And I remember asking, "What happened?" And my husband said, "Nothing, we have to continue." And we continued on the journey, but I never forgot that. Another time I heard that during the rainy season, on a day there was very heavy rain, a car was going down a road, a slopey road in town. But at the both sides on the road, on both sides, there was a huge ditch. And the rain was so heavy that it carried the car away into the ditch. And we heard that it took till the next morning for people to find out that that car had been, thrown into the ditch, and unfortunately the person had died. And countless numbers of people died on the roads because accidents were very, very common. And the roads were just roads. There was no marking, no lights, absolutely nothing to prevent accidents from happening. And obviously police was not around. And ambulances would normally be used to carry the dead to their ancestral village for burial. You never saw an ambulance saving the life of someone on the road. It didn't happen. There was a time I traveled further than normal. We were going to Ogun State. From different locations, we had to meet there for an outreach. And so I boarded a vehicle and we drove happily, probably until some 1 or 2 hours away from destination, and all of a sudden the engine showed faulty, and eventually the car stopped by the wayside. And we asked what happened, and the driver said the engine knocked, meaning it's gone. And so he redistributed all of us to different Good Samaritans that volunteered to take us to our various destinations. And I reached safely, just a bit late, but not bad. So road was a really good and precious school. A school in learning, how to cope with situations, learning how to pray, obviously, because we continued praying before and throughout the journeys, and also finding that people were never tired of laughing about everything. One of my brothers tried to visit us, and he was in a minibus, and the minibus got accidented. I don't know really what happened. He said that all of a sudden he saw everybody jumping through the windows, and he could not understand. And people dragged him out also. And he found his way to another vehicle and continued his journey. And he thought that it was curious that people didn't complain. They were all laughing, transforming the situation into a comic strip. So, nice place to laugh and nice place to enjoy life.